everyone, I'm Maxine and I'm so excited to show you how to make a cute little two-piece. We've got the oversized blouse and the maternity shorts, so I will be splitting this video up in two pieces. I will link the other one down below. So this is beginner to intermediate friendly. I do recommend that you have some sort of pattern knowledge. If you don't let that discourage you. Still follow the video and see if you can understand how the pattern process works. I try to make it as simple and easy as possible, so don't let the pattern making scare you too much. The shorts will take you anywhere from 2 hours up to 4 hours depending on your experience level. They're super easy and they've got pockets, which we all love.
So this is everything that we will need for this project. We will need the pattern making supplies, your measuring tape, your ruler, those sort of stuff. Then we will need some pattern paper, some elastic. I went with about 3 cm wide, your cotton and your fusing, then our fabric, about 1 meter should do. I went with a soft linen fabric.
It's important to wear something quite fitted when you measure yourself. If you wear something baggy or too loose, your measurements won't be accurate and your garment won't fit properly. So make sure you wear something fitted and then measure yourself. First measurement that we'll need is the length. So from the waist, measure all the way down to where you want the shorts to end. Mine will be 40. If you do want longer pants, just make sure you've got somebody to help you measure the full length, as it's not easy to measure this by yourself.
Now we can draw a line that's the same measurement as the length that we just measured.
So for this one, I want you to measure 2 places. We are going to work with the bigger measurement. The first place is the bump. So we're going to measure all the way around the bump, around the widest part of your bump, 98, and then also measure your hips. So my hips are still bigger than my bump, so I'm going to be working with the measurement from my hips. Don't worry, we will be adding enough room in the pants, so if your belly does grow, you will have more than enough space, but just work with a bigger measurement between the two.
Now we will take that measurement, divide it by 4, and then add 8 centimeters. Draw another line at the bottom that's the same measurement as the one at the top. Then we can connect the 2 lines. We will measure 33 centimeters from the top on both sides. Then we will connect the 2. Now we will take your hip or your bump measurement, divide that by 16, and then add 1.5 centimeters. So now we will extend that line and use that measurement. For the next point, we will be using the same measurement we just used, minus 1.5 centimeters, and then draw your line. Measure 5.5 centimeters up and connect that back to our starting point. Connect these points with a slight curve. We will draw in the crotch line now with a curve. Our front pattern is completed now, so now we will carry on to the back pattern. The back pattern we will do on top of the front pattern. I will be drawing this in a red marker. We will start with the back by extending the crotch line 3.5 centimeters. Extend the hem 3.5 centimeters out as well. At the top, we will measure 3.5 centimeters up and connect it back to the starting point. We will measure the back crotch line 1 centimeter in. Now we will draw the back crotch line with a curve. The side seam and the hem for both front and back stays the same. Now we will draw in the pocket placement on the pattern. I've measured about 6 centimeters down and then another 12 centimeters down from that point. That will be the pocket opening. We will draw the pocket shape now. So here I'm using a tracing paper to trace off the front pattern. We will be separating the front and back now. Now that your front is traced off, we can go ahead and cut the back pattern out. That is the red line. Let's measure the elastic that we've got, and then we're going to add that measurement to the top of the pattern. We can add a 2 centimeter hem allowance at the bottom. Now we can add a 1 centimeter seam allowance all the way around except at the hem. We can mark our patterns now. For the front, we're going to cut 2 fabric, and for the back, we're going to cut 2 fabric as well. We are ready to cut our fabric now. Make sure that your grain line matches up to your selvage. On both the front and back patterns, make sure you make little points so we know where the pocket placement will be. We will draw the drawstring straight onto the fabric, so it's about 60 centimeters long by 3 centimeters wide. For the pocket, we just need 2 pieces of fusing. So just use your pocket pattern and trace just around the opening, about 3 centimeters wide. We will take the 2 pocket pieces that has the fusing on and pin it to the front pattern pieces. We will measure 1 centimeter in and 1 centimeter down from the top and bottom corner of the pocket. After you've marked that, we're going to sew between these points. Now we will top stitch the pocket. Make sure the seam is facing towards the pocket and you only sew between these points, not beyond them. Now we can clip the seams. Make sure you only clip the pants. Don't clip the seam of the pocket. Clip it as close as you can to where the stitches stops. We can pin the pockets to the back panel and then sew between the points. Now we can sew the pocket all the way around. Just make sure that you keep the seam of the pants out of the way. So sew just on the pockets. Now that the pocket has been sewn and overlocked, we can sew the side seams. Make sure you only sew up to the pocket opening and not beyond that. Fold the seam toward the back and then overlock right through. We will pin together the inside leg seams now and then sew and overlock. Once the inside legs are sewn, we're going to take one piece, turn it inside out, place it inside the other one. Make sure that the inside leg seams match up and then pin all the way around the crotch. When we sew the crotch, we need to make sure that the stitches are durable. So if your machine has a triple stitch, use your triple stitch. Otherwise, just use the single stitch and stitch over twice just to make sure that it is durable enough.
Now we will be measuring for the elastic. So I'm going to take the elastic, measure it around the waist, just pull it so that it's comfortable, and just make sure that it can still go comfortably around the belly, so it's not digging into you, it's not too uncomfortable. So when you've got the right measurement, then you can just cut it.
We will add fuse to the elastic and then we will zigzag the opening closed. Let's measure the elastic in 4 equal parts. Match up each point on the elastic to a seam on the pants and then pin them. When we sew elastic to the pants, make sure that you pull the elastic up to where the fabric is straight. Sew the elastic all the way around like I'm showing here. Now that the elastic is sewn and overlocked, we're going to turn the edge over and pin. Make sure that the seams match up. Now we're going to top stitch the elastic in place. Make sure that you pull the elastic so that the fabric is pulled straight and it's not making any bubbles. I like to do a second row of stitching next to the first one. This gives it a bit more of an expensive feel to it, but this is completely optional. Now we can sew our drawstring. We're going to fold it in half and sew on 1 centimeter. Now your pants are completed, and thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you think and what you want to see next.